Hello guys, NautoAis here, and I want to give my thoughts on the Capcom Spotlight that happened on June 26, 2025. They showed 4 games, more info about those games, and there are some interesting about it. Also some tidbit of what's going on with Capcom, such as Capcom sales right now there is. Of course, there's the Steam sale by the time of this recording, as well as some new info for some other games such as Hinitsugami. They're celebrating its first anniversary. They're adding in a yokai called the Hashichi, which is based on that particular logo from Capcom's retro game. And then in Omnimusha, the latest one that's going to come out in 2026, they said that the game's going to be, well, an action game, but it's not going to be open world to some extent. And definitely it's not going to be a Dark Souls type, but the controls are going to be, and I was hoping it is, it's going to be more fluid, more analog. Kind of like when you play Omnimusha 3, believe it or not. You can use the analog sticks and then you just move around analog style rather than tank control. So there you go. So I'm going to give my thoughts on the 4 main game that they showed on the Spotlight. Starting with Pragmata, of course, it's going to come out in 2026. They show more what the game is. A sci-fi action game. I don't think it's survival, which is good. However, the premise is interesting, which is you're an astronaut. You are investigating this space station. Something went wrong. The AI went rogue. Skynet, I guess. And you team up with this little girl. However, she is an android. So there is something about that. And how the gameplay works is it is going to be a third-person shooter, but there will be some part that you need to hack the enemy because you're going to be fighting a lot of robot and AI. So during the battle, you pause the game, you're able to hack the robot, and the more you hack them, the more armor they get disabled, and then you probably have a chance to stop them. So it's something a new concept, but it is sort of a, hey look, it's a third-person sci-fi game, looks like Dead Space, but it's not scary, not survival horror, but there is some integration with puzzle, such as hacking. And then moving from that one is Street Fighter 6. So they basically just talk about Sagat coming August 5th, 2025. So it's going to be the day after EVO weekend. Surprising. And that they're going to actually add some new stuff for Season 3. So first of all, yes, Sagat, everybody loves the guy. What the lore is, why does it look like that? Well, you just have to wait and see. Because they showed the World Tour teaser, as always. And some people are complaining, especially the FGC, that by now you should already know that the way the DLC trailer goes is, first of all, it's going to be a World Tour DLC. And then somewhere down the line, it's going to be the gameplay. And the director Street Fighter basically said that somewhere in the month of July, they're going to show a gameplay trailer of Sagat. And then I'm going to assume at EVO 2025, they're going to probably show Crimson Viper. And then that's it. I mean, it is what it is. But, however, they are doing some good work. First of all, the Fighter Pass, now they're making it much better for the competitive player. People who don't like the World Tour mode, doesn't play Johnny Avatar, as what people call it. And they are now offering you more stuff with it, such as EX color for certain characters. They're still offering some emote, costume for your avatar. Of course, a free game. And then some wallpaper for your mobile phone in the in-game. Again, yes, most of the time, the Fighter Pass is mostly towards the casual who plays World Tour mode, plays single-player mode. The competitive player, the FGC, that only plays online, they're trying to stay away. So at least they're giving sort of an incentive for them. And not only that, they finally going to be starting with Season 3, and this was already been talked about, that certain Street Fighter character will have costumes. So, costume number 4, they already showed some of them. And it's going to be a swimsuit edition, especially Cammy and Chun-Li. People are happy. People are excited. And some of the people are, let's just say, they're getting hard, if you know what I mean. I know. And that, yeah, it looks, the design, the concept behind it, it looks awesome. It looks beautiful. And there was even some classic FGC that basically showed that, hey, look, did you know that Chun-Li and Cammy's outfit are based on a promotional art from Street Fighter 2 Turbo? I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So they're making reference. So that's awesome. And the idea with this one is that in the past, Capcom was trying to do, we'll give each of the base roster all the costume at one go offering them. But the problem is it takes time, and it takes them like a year later, and some of the FGC can't really wait. They have no patience for whatever reason, and they start voicing their concern to Capcom. So Capcom said, okay, we're going to do what we did in Street Fighter V. We're going to do drift feed. At least it's something better, and it is smart for them to do not only swimsuit, but Chun-Li and Cammy, because, and I did talk about it in a gacha game, people want to look at beautiful things. They don't want to see anything that's not beautiful because it's escapism. An example of what happened with Concord, why that game failed, because, I hate to say it, there are a lot of butt-ugly characters. Do I really want to play butt-ugly character in my fantasy? It sounds cringy, crappy, but that's the truth. So they know what they're doing. And definitely, especially with Kimberly, Cammy, Chun-Li, and to some extent even Monot and Aki, they're gonna probably buy a swimsuit. A lot of people like to play with their character on a swimsuit outfit. It is what it is. That's why even Fire Emblem Heroes, if you notice, they're doing again their summer edition. And to some extent, what even best about this situation and some of the outfit is, they're in a two-piece bikini. And again, gamers like that. Oh, they're just a bunch of gooner. It is what it is. People like to look at beautiful things, especially anime characters in a two-piece bikini. It is what it is there. So a lot of these things are going to be coming out in August 5th. So the next one after that is Resident Evil Requiem. So you have to watch actually the behind the scene to get a lot of the info about it. And I have to agree with the people behind Resident Evil Requiem. So the main character is going to be the daughter of a character that's from Resident Evil Outbreak. I never played it. I heard about it, but I don't know what the lore is. And the reason they chose her, because some people said, I heard it was going to be Leon Kennedy. Well, if you've been playing Resident Evil 2, 4, and 6, you know that by the time Resident Evil 6, Leon Kennedy is basically used to these weird heebie-jeebies. He's very desensitized that it doesn't really make sense for survival horror. They want somebody who's new, like, gets scared easily, because that's the whole point of Resident Evil. Plus, if you watch this animated movie Resident Evil, plus that one 4-parter Netflix series, you know that Leon Kennedy is becoming a badass. So it doesn't make sense. I mean, you probably can have even a spin-off, which I said before that Resident Evil 6 should have been a spin-off because they made it more action-oriented. That's not what really Resident Evil is. It is what it is. But anyway, it makes sense of the story. It makes sense of the character, why she's the main character. Plus, option is there. It is good. You can play the game in first-person view or third-person view, because some people can't really play it in first person. I tried it with Resident Evil 7. Within 30 minutes, I said, I'm getting motion sickness, can't play this. That's why they were smart, at least with Resident Evil 8, to make it third-person mode. So that's going to be interesting. And then lastly, and I guess apparently they didn't really advertise it, and I see now why it's 40 minutes. Of course, every Capcom Spotlight will have the Monster Hunter Wild Showcase. So here's the real gist of it. I do play the game. I rather play stories because it's more RPG than the real game. I do play them, but for me, I'm not really into it. So a lot of this controversy with Wild, that's what people review bombing it, doesn't really fly on me. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I play the beta. It is what it is. So here's the quick gist. New content, new monsters, new paid content, new free content, new features, new quality of life improvement, especially on PC. There you go. The end. Yes, there you go. And like I said, I'm not really a Monster Hunter fan. I can see the appeal, but it is what it is there. So there you go. My quick thoughts on the Capcom Spotlight. Yes, these are games that's already been announced and basically when they're going to be released and what the game. The idea is more info about it, so it is what it is there. So with that, I'll see you guys later.